Alright, what is good, Slab City? In this video, we're going to break down the Chris Thomas versus Chris Debo fight from Power Slap 12. So this was a great fight. It was a great fight, and some people, I think, don't even still understand the magnitude of this fight for KO Chris. So Chris Thomas, he was legitimately the first star of Power Slap, like the actual first star ever that they had. I'll never forget when I first saw his first knockout on Road to the Title when he cut what I consider to be the greatest promo of all time in Power Slap. After his knockout, his name has continued to carry weight, but the problem with that, it's you end up being in the eye more. So like when he dropped 2 fights in a row, people will start to write you off. And in Power Slap, you can always come back. Like you're always a couple of knockouts away from being back in the mix. But as far as title shots, you have to win. And he couldn't have done it in much better fashion. I mean, he did have a foul in the first round, and it was the right call. And I saw a couple comments on the Power Slap video when they posted the fight saying like, yeah, you clubbed him the first time. Of course you knocked him out. It's like, yes, his first slap was a club, and we'll look at it, but it wasn't the type of club that's going to knock you out or even give you compounding damage like one to the chin would. I mean, Debo has a ridiculous chin. That, in my opinion, is what he's known for. And so that first club on Debo didn't do shit to him. I mean, he ate that shit. So he got the knockout because he made adjustments to his slap. And so overall, it was just a phenomenal win for Chris Thomas. And for Chris Debo, it really wasn't like, yeah, a KO loss, but it was to KO Chris. And it wasn't like Debo did anything wrong. The blunder in this fight from Debo was missing weight. To me, he's not that big for 170. It actually very much shocks me that he has trouble making 170. It seems more like a discipline issue to me because, I mean, I met Chris Thomas in person. He is fucking huge for welterweight. He is a thick dude for welterweight. Yeah, I didn't really understand the struggle to make weight for Debo. Maybe he needs to take dieting more seriously, but the bad look in this fight was not getting knocked out. It was missing weight because, I mean, if you're trying to make a run at the title, Power Slap needs to know that you're going to make weight. Like if that was a title fight, that would have fucked up the whole card. So, yeah, that was the blunder. I thought he showed a lot of heart. You'll see when we go over the breakdown. On the last slap, he looked out cold when he went down, but he started to get up. I mean, there's no way you can question this kid's toughness. And yeah, it was unreal that he was even able to start to get back to his feet after that. As far as like the fight itself, I thought the reffing was perfect. I saw a lot of comments about KO Chris flinching when he took the slap, and we'll look at that. I think it was close. I don't think it was a flinch, but it was very close. There is an art to taking a slap. And KO Chris, if you watch like Road to the Title, one of his team members, when he was a coach on season 2, asked like how to take the slap. And at that point, he had only taken a couple and we had barely even seen him. But he straight up said how he recommends to do it, and he did it in this fight. And I think it helped him. And I think it's smart. I really do think it's smart. When you're a knockout artist and you're not planning on going to any decisions, it really doesn't matter what you look like when you take the slap. As long as you get to slap coming back, that's all that matters. So his strategy as far as taking a slap would not help him in a decision. Like he'd end up losing a decision most of the time with how he takes the slaps. But this is KO Chris, not decision Chris. So all he has to do is take the slap and not take that much damage and just give himself a chance to hit again. And then he's going to do what he does. So, yeah, I thought the reffing, in an age of Power Slap where the reffing and or lack thereof is very much in play in every single fight in Power Slap, I was happy with this one. I don't think they messed anything up. I think it was good. And I said, if you watch my Instagram live, I said that this new ref is actually very promising. Very promising, to the point where I think that he's doing it. Basically, it might even be better than the rest of them. So I really liked what I saw from Bertrand here, being a new ref. I really do think he's promising. I love to see him getting a shot, and I hope to see him ref bigger, better fights. with higher stakes on the line because good refs in Power Slap are hard to come by. They really are. So, yeah, anyway, this was a great fight on the prelims. The prelims fucking delivered on this card. No doubt about it. There was only one fight that didn't end in a finish, I believe, on the prelims. The rest of them were all highlight knockouts. So, but yeah, anyway, with that said, let's get into it. So KO Chris won the toss, so he was striking first. Now on Chris's first slap, he went right on 3 and ended up switching to right on 2 on his second slap. Now, Slap City listeners know how big of an advocate I am on the on 2 count in Power Slap. You see a ton of right on 3, you see a ton of right on 1, but you barely ever see on 2, and no one preaches it more than me.
Does it? First 5 matches of his career, all won by knockout. Look at the look of Debo. Oh.
Okay, decent shot there from Chris. Debo able to eat it. Talking shit coming back. Debo, he's known for his chin. That's by far his best attribute, in my opinion. It looked a little high at first in real time. So let's take a closer look.
Yeah, I just want to confirm.
Okay, yeah, looked high and looked deep. You'll see, calls a club there. Boom, stop it there. Okay. Yeah, so a little bit high and a little bit deep. So I think this was an excellent call in real time. Like an excellent call. I don't think many people call this. Now the $1 million question. KO Chris, can he take slaps still? Historically, in my opinion, he has a decent chin. He's been knocked out twice, but pretty decent chin. Now, one thing about Chris is he just has a very, 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 very tough time staying still when he's about to get hit. And that's been a problem in the past. Against Manny, he had to take extra slaps because he couldn't stay still. And that's part of the reason why he ended up getting knocked out in that fight, in my opinion. All right, so Debo, right on 3. Look at the side of Debo's face. You can see the fucking redness. And you can see the gap between the button and the red.
It's Anthony Blackburn. And that first shot there. It's also been 8 months since KO Chris has been hit. Here we go. Ooh. Did he flinch? Did he move?
Okay, decent shot from Debo. KO Chris fired up. Now, it did look close to a flinch. They call a fair blow here, so we'll take a closer look. Wasn't the best slap from Debo, if I'm being honest. It looked like he missed short. Yeah, barely catches him with his fingertips. Good placement. Like, he clips him right on the chin, but it was mostly fingertips. Definitely missed short there. Now, that's the thing. So, KO Chris, he's very good at rolling once he gets hit. That was part of what his strategy was. If you go back and watch him teach his fighters how to take a slap on road to the title, he likes to keep his outside foot more limp, like his leg. And then when he gets hit, he waits until he's about to get hit, and then he rolls with it, like walks with it to take away some power. It's a lot like Cole Young. If you watch Cole Young take hits, he'll wait until he gets hit. He'll turn his head to take away some of the power and resistance, and then he'll just walk with it because his leg is a little more limp on that side. So it is funny to see that KO Chris was actually teaching how he takes slaps. And so I think it's an effective method. It was very close to being early here. He definitely moved a little bit when he was getting hit. Now in Power Slap, you're allowed to move a little bit. It just can't affect the power of the strike. In this case, I mean, he took the hit, so I don't think it's a flinch. I do think it was close, so I don't blame people thinking that it might have been a flinch. But I personally think it was the right call to let it go. I think that Debo missed short. I think that he had plenty more that he could have landed of his hand.
You're right. It initially looked like he kind of stumbled him a little bit, but you're right. It was the perfect roll.
Yeah, I think he was just like kind of going with the flow.
All right, so KO Chris comes out, switches to right on 2.
Here comes KO Chris on 2.
He's got to get it together.
Oh, Chris is back!
Debo goes down stiff. Now watch Debo. Look at it. He looks out cold, wakes up, starts to get up, and then he waves it off. It was the right stoppage. Unbelievable. Dude, it looked like Debo was out cold and then just kind of like woke up and was like, fuck it, let's stand up. You'll see KO Chris going wild here. Now, Chris Thomas, besides like Ryan Phillips and One-Eyed Wolf in Road to the Title Season 1, Chris Thomas was the biggest showman. And he still is a showman. I always talk about stage presence, and he has excellent stage presence. He works the crowd. He's definitely not going to not capitalize on the post knockout. I mean, he took advantage of every second of camera time he could here, and it was brilliant. I didn't even notice that. Did he take a hit of his mouth guard? I think that was supposed to be like a joint. That was amazing. Let's take a closer look. Boom, stop it here. All right, so it looks on the lower side. Now, his wrist is good. The heel of your hand can land on their face. It just can't go further than the tip of their chin, which you don't want it to anyway. You want, the tip of the chin is the money spot, so you want to be clipping that. And if you're allowed to land the heel of your hand on the sweet spot, then that's what you should be doing. That's exactly what he's doing here. Dude, I don't care how good of a chin you have. This shot is going to put basically everybody out. And I think personally that Chris Thomas has the most power in the welterweight division. And so if he's going to be out here eating slaps, bro, good fucking luck beating this guy. You can't let him get more than like 2 or 3 tops, dude. He's 1 win away. Whether Blackburn or Azael win, we are in for a great match if Chris Thomas can find one more win. I think that you have to do the rematch between him and Manny. I've been saying that. I think it'll be an excellent fight. And there's beef there. There's history there. It would be a huge mistake for Power Slap, in my opinion, to not make that rematch with Manny. And then, like, no matter who wins between Blackburn and Azael, there's just going to be great fights for the welterweight division. Like, the welterweight division needed this. They needed this in the worst way possible. They're back. And especially with Azael coming down and giving some fresh blood, like, the welterweight division is back. So, yeah, they needed this. Shout out to Chris Thomas. Amazing performance from him. Almost flawless if it wasn't for the first club. And then for Debo, I think that this is a wake-up call for him. It's all about that offense for Debo and dialing in that weight because, in my opinion, there really is no excuse for not making it. Yeah, anyway, was a great fight. Brighter days to come for the welterweight division moving forward. And, yeah, anyway, until next time, like, comment, subscribe. Peace.